Hey man, say man, back at y'all again today, man, with another video. Guys, today I'm out here at the Lost Pines Cards and Collectibles show. As always, we do this 4 times a year, and I'm ready to show y'all what they have. So this is my booth. Got it started off. Now let's go ahead and walk around. Got that boy 10 out here with the setup as always. He has a claw machine, so many different things you can do there. Packs you can win, prizes, incentives. He's always a cool booth to go check out. Even has the Plinko price drop as well. You can see me there in the Kirby shirt. Plenty of ETBs to be had here, guys. Graded cards galore. There were so many things to see, so many things to do. And keep in mind, I was getting this clip here before the show actually started, but I did go back through and get some more clips after the show was in progress and underway. That Diamond Jolteon right there for 50 bucks. I had to add that to my collection. Thank you for working with me to make a deal on that one. So many figures here, guys. Hot Wheels, collectibles, not just cards, but you also have your bulk boxes of cards. You're trying to go for set completion. Plenty of Yu-Gi-Oh, plenty of Squishmallows. A lot of people also had games. The spin wheel right there, I want to get one of those myself. That way I can run some table games. And look at these pops here. These pops, these helmets, these gloves were the highest caliber collectibles I saw at the show, besides, of course, sports cars. I've seen a lot of Beanie Babies lately coming in. Even brought some myself just to go ahead and follow with the trends. Going into some more collectibles, guys. There was so much to see, like I'm saying. It's hard to get it all in one video, but I did. This video is definitely going to be one of my longer videos. Somewhere in the neighborhood of about 17 minutes, but I wanted to make sure to show you every single table there at the show, as I always do. I want to say there's over 150 different vendors today, guys. I had to compile 112 clips just to make this video happen. So a lot of cuts, a lot of editing, but we're going to make it work. Guys, pops were probably the most abundant collectible there, other than, of course, sports cards and Pokemon cards, because that's what this show is after all. But I was surprised on the pops. I definitely seen a few that I wanted added to my collection. I really wasn't planning on doing so, but I did get a Flock Scooby-Doo, a Flocked Growlithe, and the Diamond Jolteon. I think I'm going to go ahead and make a pop wall for when I'm recording back at the house, if I ever do get to make videos from my house again. But dude, there are so many sports cards here. New Mosaic, old Mosaic, some of the new Prism sets I haven't really seen. And here it was one of our first rips of the day. Man, I think together we opened over, let's say, 25 or 30 packs. Not one chase card out of any of those packs, but I did see a couple people bust down some of that new Disney Lorcana stuff, and someone did pull an enchanted out of that. It's like a $160 chase card. However, I didn't have any type of crazy luck like that. Opened some NBA hoops, some Don Russ, Fusion Strike, what else? Brilliant Stars, Silver Tempest, Lost Origins. Luck was just not on my side today. But that's okay. That's not why we came, just to rip packs. We came to see what all there was to be had. Pretty cool to see the autographed baseballs. Don't remember seeing that from last time. One table had a total of, I don't know, probably 500 different autographed graded cards. All, PSA 9, PSA 10. There are a few lower grades on the higher caliber memorabilia collectibles, but this table was insane. I think that first day that table did over 20,000 in sales. Crazy numbers. But overall, most of the rest of the tables were pretty mild. They had a bunch of different stuff you could get in at any price point with. So many pops, man. So many pops. Like that Diamond Vaporeon as well. However, I was still shocked to figure out that Diamond Vaporeon was still north of $100. I thought it had come down by now. I still need a Diamond Charmander, got a Diamond Pikachu, Diamond Bulbasaur, and the Diamond Squirtle. But I'm missing that Diamond Charmander, so maybe I'll be able to find those one of these days. This lady was customizing coins. That was pretty sick to see. Overall, when it comes to sports cards, I've kind of fallen out of touch. Still definitely collect LeBrons. Up-and-comers, man, not so much. I really haven't been keeping up with things. This Topps Chrome Vintage box was kind of sick. Thought about picking that up, but by the time I went back, it was already gone. Bunch of different Prism cards. Saw a few older things like from Zion's rookie year. People are still chasing Zion, believe it or not. I know I went hard going for the Melo Ball cards, Kobe cards, but Zion I never really fell into the chase for. Of course, I did see a few of the classic Henry Ruggs out there, some Jaws. Didn't really do too much on the sports card end though this time. Super sick patches, and this is that guy's table I was telling you that had, a ton of inventory, high caliber, autos only. A few patches here and there, but he primarily collected autos. This was his one-of-one case, and man, this was just incredible to see. Seeing sports cards of this caliber is definitely not something you do every day. Now at this show, I know you saw those UPCs, that Roaring Moon. I did pick those up as well. So I'm sitting on another Celebrations UPC, and with Salamence being my favorite Pokemon, I definitely had to go for that Roaring Moon. A lot of people, it seems, are starting to get back into e-reader cards, and of course, you know, guys, I've always been big on e-reader cards. So it kind of sucks to see it at the same time because, the values are going up. They're going to be a little bit harder to attain, but it is cool to see it at the same time just because a lot of people are starting to share that similar interest. I know a lot of e-reader packs go for over $500 per pack alone, so that's pretty hard to get your hands on. When you can go out and buy the singles, especially the ones in the reverse slot, that's definitely the way to go if you ask me. Didn't see too many e-reader Charizards, but I am only missing one at the end of the day, so that's not that big of a deal. A lot of different older school packs here, but there was a mix of the new on this one as well. Guys, so many tables. I think this was the most tables so far. Cool to see some stuff on clearance there as well. And man, the comics were out there too. If you know anything about comics, it's definitely time to check out one of these shows just because you could probably find an incredible deal. People willing to work with you on some comics you definitely don't have. I don't know too much about comics, but I know they did look pretty cool, and there was an absolute ton of them here. On this pop table, this is one of the ones that I traded for. I got that Scooby-Doo flocked and the Growlithe flocked. I traded an amiibo pack for this. It was well worth it if you ask me. I did see a couple Chase Care Bears out there. Wasn't able to get my hands on any of those. People were definitely charging a premium. They wanted to trade or sell for just the packs, and some people didn't want to trade at all, which is understandable. You need to make sales. That's why you're here. But I was trying to trade for some of those just for the personal collection. I did see a few vintage games here and there. The table directly in front of me got lucky and bought out a lot of vintage Pokemon games. I wish I had that luck. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do so. I still need silver and I still need yellow. One of these days, I'll be able to get lucky and add those guys to my collection. But for now, I wasn't in that position. One thing I thought that was pretty cool are the Pokemon Center exclusive pops. I almost traded that amiibo pack for a pearlescent Mewtwo. Also definitely saw a couple pearlescent Squirtles as well. I didn't know they were doing that. Something I might keep my eye out for. They seem to be pretty desirable. I want to say the Mewtwo was like $60 worth, maybe 55, but somewhere in that neighborhood. These old school platinum packs were definitely cool to see as well. And of course, you are still seeing those evolution boxes, the Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon boxes that were going around for a while. Those things have always been super desirable. I think I still have 3 of them myself. Just the promo cards alone in those boxes make it worthwhile to go ahead and open those things. A lot of those premium pack Hot Wheels are awesome as well. I always keep my eyes out for a nice Firebird, any type of treasure hunt that really keeps my eyes. But I had a Firebird in high school, so I like those guys. A lot of C10s are coming back though, man. I know a couple buddies who have C10s that are interested in those Hot Wheels. Nissan packs were sick. I don't know too many of the differences in the main line and just the base treasure hunts, but I do know what to look for on a super, so I was keeping my eyes out for those. Overall, man, it was an awesome show. Highly recommend checking out a convention if you ever get the time. I think this might have been the last one in Bastrop, though, unfortunately. The next convention that's held out here in the Austin area is probably going to actually be in Austin, and there's going to be a ton more tables. The rental fee on a convention center out there is going to be a lot less than the one in Bastrop, so at the end of the day, it only makes sense. Check out those base set blister packs. Evolving Skies booster box. Man, there were heat at this convention. Older Squishmallows, They had that new winking Squishmallow as well. But I pretty much just like to collect one of each of those, and then I'm on to the next set. I'm not really concerned with collecting one of every size, but I already have a Gengar, Snorlax, Togepi, have the original Pikachu, the one that's not weakened. I like that one a lot better if you ask me. So many things to see, guys. I just can't say that enough. Everybody had their own vibe at their tables. A lot of people had similar stuff, but then you have tables like this that are just completely different. Stuff that you're not really going to find anywhere else. Saw a lot more vintage games coming into play. Old Pokemon movies, old Pokemon books. That was really cool to see. We'll be making our way over there very shortly. And I also saw a bunch of people vending their own craft stuff they made, like food, or I think shirts was one of them. A couple different things worth checking out if you ask me. There's that flocked Growlithe I got right there. Was super excited to pick that up. And man, they just had an abundance of Chase Funkos. I didn't know how many Chase Funkos they were. I thought they were more coveted, more valuable, more hard to get. But man, nowadays in my eyes, it seems like they're just putting a Chase Funko Pop out for just about everything that is released. I don't really know how all that works. I know that it, with a sports card or Pokemon card, they're definitely a lot harder to find, a lot more desirable. I know the Funko Pop chases come like 1 per case or 2 per case. I'm not entirely sure how, but it just seems to me like the market's starting to get flooded with Funko Pop chases. So also talked to a bunch of the vendors that were vending Funko Pops, just similar to Pokemon cards, how a lot of the prices have begun to, plummet. They're not as high as they used to be. It seems like that's an ongoing trend with Funkos as well. So if you're holding on to some bigger name things, now might be a time to get rid of it before the market goes down too much where it doesn't make sense. Otherwise, if you're holding on to some bigger stuff right now, it might be best to go ahead and do a long-term hold. That way you can see the most of your return out on the back end, let's say 10, 15 years down the road, if these things keep continuing to be desirable. Now, I saw a lot of single packs, a lot of different peoples with binders as well. Didn't really see too many alternate art evolutions. I think, speaking of it, that Roaring Moon alternate art that I picked up was the only one I was able to even find. Luckily, I was able to score that card. I saw that vendor packing up and getting out the door, but right before he did, we made a deal on it. But yeah, no alternate art evolutions. Was kind of surprised on that. That always used to be a hot ticket item. Now that I think about it, I did see one Glaceon alternate art PSA 10, but I already have that card in a PSA 10, so I wasn't really going for it. Still though, at the end of the day, awesome show, awesome show. So many different figures, so many different pops, so many different cards. A lot to do, a lot to get your eyes on. First day, they didn't have any food vendors set up. They always have the little concession stand, but man, the second day they did have a food vendor as well, which is always nice. I didn't see any Moonbreons, and some of the people who, have begun to get acquainted with that have set up over the past year or so didn't return, so that was kind of unfortunate to see. This is one of those artists that were showcasing their own things. It was pretty cool to see that as well. That just goes to show that your table doesn't need to have the same exact things as everybody else. You can be unique, you can stand out, you can put on something that no one else will have. And that's what's so cool about shows like these. Sometimes you'll find things that you're never going to see anywhere else. And that goes for just about any convention you go to. But this one specifically being so close to home, it's a no-brainer for me to go every single time. Now, I saw a few of those Master Ball Japanese holos from the latest set. Too bad they didn't do those in English, of course. A couple Fortnite cards as well. And then the vintage games, we're coming up to those pretty soon. Bunch of different memorable people like Geeked Out, had Mike from Kenny's Collectibles. Janice, of course, was out there. A few more people from San Antonio were cool to see as well, but like I said, guys, there's just so much to do, so much to see. Let's take a look at this vintage. Look at those stacks of old Pokemon books, Pokemon games. Just brings me back to my childhood, being able to see stuff like that. The Pokemon Gale XD, Gale of Darkness, GameCube, inbox complete was insane as well. The price tags on those things are just ridiculous, though. Probably try my luck getting one on the back end on eBay or something for a couple hundred versus paying near $1,000 for something like that, though. But super sick to see that. Something I definitely want to add into my collection one day. Today was just definitely not the day. We are coming to the end now, guys. That has been all 150 table vendor displays that were at the Lost Pines Cards and Collectibles show. And like I said, unfortunately, this might have been the last show, so there's no details on if there will be another show, when those dates might be, because for all I know, this was the last one. Here I was wrapping it up on the final day, and of course I did have one last minute sell, something I wasn't really wanting to let go, but very last second I had to sell my PS5. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Here it is, show 1 and 2 and end. Best of luck to you on your pulls. I hope you have a chance to go to a show near you, and until next time, guys, I'll be out this thing. Peace.